Yo, hey, this is Bo the Mechanic. I haven't been on in a while. I haven't made any videos. I've been busy doing a bunch of crazy stuff. I've had a bunch going on, man. I'm trying to build a new shop. Trying to get a bunch of crazy equipment that I've bought up and running. Building a shop is hard. It takes lots of time, lots of crazy stuff. You got to be out there every day screwing around. I'm trying to build a pole barn because I'm trying to do it on the ultra cheap, and dirt work takes money, gravel takes money, poles take money, trusses, all other stuff. So I haven't had much time to do little videos, but here's a new video I thought that was pretty cool. Over the weekend, I lucked out, man. I've been trying to snatch up pieces of equipment just for me to have for fun. And since I was a little kid, I always wanted a little Dozer, and I just happened to find, I'm always on Craigslist looking for crazy shit. So I happened to find this 1960 model International TD340. It's a skid shovel. They also made them in dozers. This one's particularly, he's got a 4-in-1, so it's kind of like a dozer bucket and a loader bucket. So it's kind of can open up and you can push, or you can cramp down on stuff. So here's what it is, kids. This is a International TD340. No track on this side. It hopped the track while I was loading on the trailer. That was really fun. This is what they look like from the other side. No safety equipment, no need. Back in the 60s, they weren't real big on cages. They didn't have any cage. I'll probably put one on it just because I don't want to die. I'll build something crazy out of rectangle or tubing or something, but this is it. Yeah, this is a 1960 International TD340. Like I said, they made two different types, a couple different types. They made a skid shovel, which is what this thing is. It's got a 4-in-1 bucket on it. They also made what's called a dozer. You know, just a typical dozer. It had a push blade on it with a, not a 6-way blade, but I think it had a 4-way blade back in the old days. This is an early model though, and they made it in a diesel. It was 166 cubic inch diesel, and they also made a gasoline, and I don't know what size the gasoline was because I've never seen one because I'm not that old, but this is pretty damn popular, man. A lot of guys love these things. They came with all types of shit on them, man. You could have got PTO engagements for the back of them. You could have got winches on the back of them. They're just pretty cool. They're just old style, man. Real old style. You got your levers for your braking levers, man. You got forward and reverse. I think you got 5 speeds forward. As you can see, it's been in better shape, man. Tracks are about destroyed, as you can see. I think all the rollers are ruined. The bushings and pins are pretty ruined. Everything's pretty much ruined. This is literally a basket case. But positives are that the lady told me that her grandfather, I guess her father, drove it every week or every day about until he died in 2006. So it sat in the field for 6 years. So I inherited it. You know, she emailed me, man, and she let me have it for cheap as fuck. So I couldn't say no. This is $600 and it weighs 10,000 pounds. So it's actually probably worth more than that just in scrap. So I got it for less than scrap. And anytime you can buy something for less than scrap, you should do it. So I got it here, man. I tried to load it up. It was really exciting. It's really heavy, and one of the fucking tracks, of course, hopped off because they're so wore. So I just pushed it in here in the shop. Basically what happens, man, on these old tractors, these old diesels especially, but the gasoline engines will do this shit too. What happens is, there's a cylinder head that goes right here. This is just the block. I already taken it apart because I got ahead of myself. I wanted to show you guys everything, but I just get busy. It's a cylinder head that goes above this, and it's got like most diesels, it's just got a smokestack that comes straight up, and you always see them, usually they got a flapper or something on it, on a big exhaust muffler and a flapper, and that's to keep fucking rain out. And dumbasses will either take the exhaust and the muffler off, or they'll just, I don't know what the fuck they think, they just don't cap the pipe. So it'll rain, of course, because it rains in the earth, and it will fuck up, and water will get down in the exhaust pipe, and basically water will get into the cylinder. It'll sit there on that piston until it completely gets junk and rust and gook all in the piston rings. And rings are kind of like springs. They compress and they open up, and they compress and open up. Well, it locks them in whatever position they were. So all of a sudden you have no fucking compression. So that's what this thing had, man. Even though I got out there sitting in a damn nasty ass mountain, squirrely mountain road up in the woods, it would spin over, but didn't have any compression, so it wouldn't even begin to fire off. So that's why it made it so hard to load. I had to. A lot of times you can get them to start if they got exhausts on them. So always be worried when you see a diesel or a gasoline engine and it has no muffler on it. It's been sitting in the rain. So here we are, International TD340. Until next time. Oh, this is Bo the mechanic. Hey, it's me, faggot again. Check this out. This is another little episode. This TD340, right? I told you guys that somebody left it and rain got inside the motor. Got down in here. This is called a sleeve. It's kind of like an engine block. You know, in a car, cars don't have sleeves that come out, but pieces of machinery do usually. So this is what's called a sleeve liner, and this piston actually fits right up in there like that. It's right in there. See, it'll fit. And so basically it'll sit in there, but the water gets in there and it'll compress. These rings are compressed when they're inside that sleeve, okay? And gook and shit will get in here where the piston and the landings are, and it'll gook it all up, and then all of a sudden these they won't move like this, okay? They'll get so much shit in them they won't move, and basically the piston's it's moving up and down, but it doesn't have any seal. There's no sealing ability because the fucking rings are junk. So what you usually do is say, fuck, my engine's ruined. What I'm gonna do is, because I'm a badass like that, I don't do that. I'm gonna just take them apart like I already have, get down to the pistons and the rods, and soak them in diesel fuel. That's gas and diesel fuel, because that just happens to be what I had laying around. And as you can see, that shit is nasty looking. That is just gas and diesel, and it's turned black, and that's from the tarnish and carbon buildup and all the nasty shit that was coating those rings. So these two pistons are still seized up. The rings are still seized up, and those two pistons over there on the bench, they're okay. I already fixed them yesterday. These two were the real stubborn ones, so I just went ahead and left them all night soaking in this gas oil. So hopefully now what we're gonna do is yank them out. And as you can see, I've already broken one of these. You don't always win, so I broke one ring, but I'm not really worried about it. This is a compression ring, and this second ring right here is more of like a wiper. And this right here is technically called a wiper as well. So this is really the one you want to worry about. This motor might smoke a little bit now because I broke that one ring, but I'm not really worried about it. As you can see right here, there you go. You can see this part's free. I've worked it free. This part is still totally seized up. I can't get it to do this. See how this one I can just spin the ring around? I should be able to do it with this one, but I can't. So I'm gonna have to sit here and wiggle on it and wiggle on it and wiggle on it and keep dipping it and dipping it and dipping it and blowing compressed air in there, and eventually I'll be able to get this to free up. Same kind of thing with this one right here. This thing's been soaking all night as well. And you can see this one's really bad. All of them are stuck. Every one of these rings is stuck. There's no spring in them at all. I can't get it to release. And it's gonna be a problem. But like I said, I'm gonna keep screwing with it. I'm gonna keep fucking with this, blowing compressed air in there and diesel and gas. And eventually I'm gonna get these to free up. And when you get them freed up, you're cooking them with gasoline, you know? Then you're ready to rock and roll. And I'm gonna take them and put them right back inside this engine. And see if I can't get her to do something, run or do something, fucking blow up. I don't give a shit, whatever. And then we start the epic rebuild. All right, well, this is Bo the Mechanic, so we'll see what happens.